Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the very first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, go ahead and smash that like button. I really would appreciate that. Well, guys, it is a new year. It is a new day. And a lot of people have a lot of goals. And many of those goals are financial. Well, in today's video, I want to go over how to get out of debt the fastest. Okay. And the reason why I'm so passionate about getting out of debt is that debt is one of the, let me condition this statement. Debt can hold people back. Most people spend their entire lives trying to get out of debt. And unfortunately, most people have a form of debt that is not making them any money. So if your debt is not earning you money, meaning like you don't have some, $500,000, loan on a piece of real estate that's paying you more than your mortgage payment, chances are you've got some kind of consumer debt that's just burning a hole in your pocket and not allowing you to increase your net worth, preventing you from building wealth. So debt can literally be wiped out in a very accelerated rate or speed, and I've actually pulled it off. So I want to share with you guys just some basic tips and strategies on how you can do this. So first and foremost, you got to create a budget, guys. You got to create a budget. And, don't think that, oh, if I create a budget, it's budgets are for broke people. I used to hear that phrase a lot. Budgets are only for broke people. And that is so far from the truth. Budgets are not for broke people. A budget is literally just a simple mathematic calculation showing how much money comes in versus how much money goes out. That's all a budget is. So everyone, even Apple, look at, almost $2 trillion company Apple with their, brand new iPhone launch recently having been released. iPhone 14 recently came out. They're a $2 trillion company. Well, depending upon what the stock price is at the moment, but even Apple has a budget. They have a budget for advertising. They have a budget for staffing. They have a budget for research and development. Amazon has a budget as well. Tesla has a budget. All of these major companies have budgets. So if a $2 trillion company has a budget, trust me, a budget is not just for broke people. A budget is for smart people and for smart businesses. So in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you're at. And that way you can plot and make sure you're going in the right direction. So first and foremost, figure out how much income you have. Now, of course, it goes without saying that the more income you have, the faster you can get out of debt. So step one is to figure out how much income you're generating. Do you have one job, two jobs, multiple jobs? Do you have any passive income coming in? Maybe you're receiving child support. I don't know, whatever the case is. Whatever your income sources are, write those down and add them up. Are you married? How much does your spouse make? Figure out all of this. Add that number up, create that total. Next, figure out how much money you're spending every single month. You want to look at, your rent payment, your mortgage payment. You want to identify your utility bills, cell phone bills, your insurance. You have car insurance, homeowners insurance. Like, figure out all of these different expenses. How much money do you spend on gas? How much money are you spending on these streaming services? How much money do you spend on food, clothing, entertainment? You got to add all these expenses up and total them up. These are your expenses, right? Now, you may have a positive number once you do the calculation of taking the total income and subtracting all your expenses. If you have a positive number, then great. You're already off to a great start. If your number is negative, then we have to hurry up and fix that. Meaning, if you spend more money than you earn, you have to fix that immediately, because you're only going to dig yourself further and further into debt, and that is not winning. So we want to make sure that we get to a positive place, positively, financially, and emotionally. So what we would do is, whether you're in a negative or not, the first thing we want to do is we want to figure out, okay, what is the smallest, and there's different strategies to doing this. What is the smallest balance on any of your revolving credit lines. So for example, let's just say you have a few credit cards. I would pick technically I would attack the one with the highest interest rate first. That's the way I would attack it, but you don't have to do it this way. This is the fastest way of getting out of debt though, attacking the debt which has the highest interest rate, because that one is sucking up the most amount of your money going toward interest. So that is one strategy that you can implement. However, let's just say that your highest interest rate debt may be the largest balance that you owe. It will take longer for you to have paid that card off. So it may take longer for you to feel like you made some significant accomplishment. So if you're the type of person that needs to see, you want to get some quick wins, then maybe you would attack it slightly differently. You're still going to get out of debt, but maybe you say to yourself, hey, I'm going to tackle the smallest balance card first. Now, the smallest balance credit card may not necessarily be charging the highest amount of interest, but what this will do though is it will give you a shot of adrenaline and motivation, because you'll feel like, oh, hey, I just paid off this card and I'm out of debt for that particular card. And so it feels really good. And you get this shot of happiness and motivation to continue to knock out the next card in line. And the money you were using for that one card, for that minimum payment plus paying it down, that money, once the card is paid off, you can now roll that money that you were using to pay that card off onto the other cards that are next in line to get paid down to zero balances. So that's what Dave Ramsey calls the debt snowball. So another thing that you could be doing is looking at what are things that we can sell. If you have, if you're driving like an $80,000 car and you really don't probably need an $80,000 car, you could probably look at selling your $80,000 car and purchasing a $10,000 car. Still be, reliable. You can find a reliable car for $10,000. Don't let anyone fool you. You could probably even find reliable cars for less than $10,000 in this market. Still, so I would eliminate this $80,000 car, sell it, get out of debt, pay off that car loan, get into a less expensive car, hurry up and pay that one off. But it's a whole lot easier to pay off a $10,000 car loan versus an $80,000 car loan. The next thing I'd be looking at refinancing any type of loan that I might have. So if you have, now it depends. I'd be looking at refinancing loans, but at the time that you're watching this video, interest rates may actually be higher than what you're currently financed at. But it certainly doesn't hurt you to shop the market, call some banks around, figure out if there's any type of lower interest rate available for any type of outstanding loans that you have. So if you have a car loan, I'd be looking to refinance my car loan to a lower interest rate. If you have a mortgage, perhaps consider refinancing the house to get a lower mortgage rate. The same thing goes with credit cards. Many different credit card companies will offer different balance transfer offers, different balance transfer deals. So if you've got a credit card with like 22% interest, you could probably just apply for a new credit card and likely get a balance transfer offer from the new credit card company. And you guys can let me know in the comments down below if you want me to leave a list for you of some of the best 0% interest balance transfer credit cards that are available on the market. I certainly would not mind doing that if I get enough comments from you guys requesting that. Another thing that you could do is, let's just say that there are no good deals on the market right now for balance transfers, but usually there are. The economy would have to be like completely trashed to have nothing out there, right, in terms of good balance transfer offers from credit cards. But another thing you could do is you could call your existing credit card company and you can say to them, hey, I'm thinking about closing out this account. I need to get a lower interest rate and I just can't afford to do this anymore. I'm thinking about doing a balance transfer and closing out this account. Now, they don't know what you're capable of doing. They don't know what kind of balance transfer deal that you might have with another credit card company, but they do want your business. So what you can do is, generally speaking, if you say that to them, they will want to transfer you to their customer retention department, which will then, generally speaking, you know, it won't work every time, but a lot of times, and it's worth it. It might only be a 10-minute, 15-minute phone call. They will say, hey, if you keep the card, if you keep the account open, we will lower your interest rate for a certain period of time. So let's just say you're paying 22% interest. They may be willing to lower your interest rate to say, I don't know, 8% for the next 12 months. And so that's a great deal. You're saving what, 14% interest. And so in that period of time, you bust your butt to get that card paid off before the interest rate goes back up to 22%. So just wanted to share that with you. Also, contact all of your call around for your insurance companies, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance. I will call around and make sure that I'm getting the lowest rate possible for my insurance. That can save you potentially hundreds, if not over $1,000 per year in money saved if you can get your insurance policy or premium reduced. And that extra $1,000 can go toward paying off other debt. The key here is we need to free up as much cash as possible to be able to knock out this debt. Your cable bill. If you have a cable bill, you need to kind of go through your cable bill and make sure that there's not a whole lot of, make sure that there's nothing more than the bare necessities on there. I mean, me personally, I'm very impatient. When I wanted to get out of debt, I was willing to sacrifice everything to get out quickly. And that included reducing the cable bill to the basic cable. And I maintained my high-speed internet connection just because that was how I was making money. I needed my high-speed internet connection, but that was a necessity. Wasting time watching TV, and certainly, you know, paying to waste time watching useless television was not something I was going to waste my money on when I was trying to get out of debt. And I pretty much don't watch a whole lot of TV now anyway, so it's like a habit that stuck with me. All right, so the next thing you need to do to get out of debt fast is to figure out how you can increase your income. So first and foremost, if you have a job right now that offers overtime, I'd be looking to max out however much overtime is currently available. That is one of the easiest ways, quickest ways to get to increase your income. Number two, you could get a part-time job. Now, I'm not a big fan of spending more time to create more income, but this may be one quick way to get additional income coming in temporarily to be able to help you to have a bigger shovel for which to dig yourself out of debt. All right. Now, what I would really suggest for a long-term fix for getting out of debt is to create a side hustle, create a small business, ideally a business that could be automated, become passive. So that way, at some point in time in the future, you won't have to continue to work to have more money come into your bank account. So these are just some tips and strategies that I wanted to share with you guys on how I would get out of debt and how I did get out of debt super duper fast. And let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are, and why. I need to just touch on this one piece right quick. Why do we want to get out of debt? We want to get out of debt so that you can have more cash and capital freed up, so that you can invest in things that pay you to create passive income, so that you can improve and increase your net worth, and so that you can have more free time to spend with your friends and family and doing the things that you want to do, taking vacations, trips. You know, you don't want to have to work your entire life just to live and survive. So anyway, wanted to share this information with you. Hope you found it helpful. If you made it this far, drop a like for the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Be safe.